everything that has any volume size has its own root key, and then when you throw it through each one of the cabinet speakers and everything, it's the same kind of deal. So that's where all these rings are coming from. Yeah. Still got a little tiny bit going on. Let's see if we go a little bit. Let's see if maybe it's more like 6K. Let's try that out. 12 up. Yeah. Nope, it was in the 12K region. But now let's see. It's too muffled, but it should have too much air. Doesn't seem like this is a full cut. It's too thin. Okay, full cut.
You have to put up a sign. Do not touch settings.
Which I've done before. It's something.
Yeah.
That's how to take a picture. I think to not necessarily where they go, not where they were.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah, I've done that sometimes.
Just gonna do a little tiny push and see it, 'cause that's a good one, something like that. And let's see. Yeah.
Is this a wireless
So where's our?
computer?
Too bad. So there's unfortunately not much that you can do with these pencils to take out that ring. You got to keep them at a lower volume. It's only going to pick up so much. What needs to happen to be able to get this to function properly for because you're streaming online, correct? So you have two options to make this work a lot better for you. One of which is there are these, they kind of look like half a cylinder, right? It's a U-shaped thing, right? And it has a lining of foam, rippled foam that's on the inside that you attach to the mic stand. That would be on this side, kind of coming around it like this. And that helps to tether some of the frequencies that we're getting in response from a bounce back from the speakers. The other option is plexiglass, right? You see it at like concerts with drums and stuff. They put the plexiglass in. It's because of the drum mics actually. It's not so much about the drums themselves, but the drum mics will pick up so many extra sounds from the speakers, and you just have some plexiglass that you kind of keep around it so that the mics are really just dealing with stuff here, and you're not getting as much of the feedback coming from these speakers over there. Unfortunately, yeah, the only other option that you have isn't good for sound in here. It would be to be pointing the speakers up towards the ceiling more, right? So that they're not creating direct contact. I mean, you do have the brake bars on the top, which will catch some of the sound. But as you can see, that frequency still, you get that back ring. It's like a little ring modulator in there.
With lowering the volume.
Lowering volume, absolutely, but then again, you need to, the best thing to do for streaming, let's say, right, would be you have each one of these channels coming out that you're then able to adjust in the software, right? So that's how because I stream, that's how I do it. But let's see if because before it was sitting a lot lower, let's see if we can get away with it here. Hello? It's way less now. Yeah, we at least don't have the overpitch. And let's check the mics here, make sure that that's a little it's not so bad. I just want to see what the 12K frequency response. We can boost it a little bit more. How's it going, Eric?
Isaac.
Nice to meet you.
It's not upstairs.
Oh, wonderful. Nice to meet you, Isaac. Yeah, 12Ks need to stay scooped. Let's see. Try to keep as much air as we can on top. Maybe just be a full downturn. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. No, we still have that little ring over tone. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, these too. Yeah, pencils are always kind of really hot. Before they were sitting here, we're gonna let them sit just under 5, and then let's bring them up just a little bit more. So yeah,
Everything's hot right now.
exactly. Anytime you don't need to use the pencils, turn them down. Absolutely, because they're the biggest culprits. They have a larger diaphragm in them, and they're much more sensitive to sound. Yeah, hence being distance microphones in general. That's kind of the case. Yeah. Everything else though is looking kind of nice. Actually, I'm gonna just no, it's fine. Yeah, that's about that. And how's it sounding when it's going into your streaming device? So what are you using for streaming? Willow box? Oh, okay. So you're looking at those speakers.
Can I say something?
Please.
It's very loud.
Just turn
Well,
it down.
yeah, we can turn it down.
Yes. You can turn it on.
He's never heard it from the back. He's always up there.
Yep.
We just turned it down.
You did. And it's somewhat louder because there are people here.
When there's no bodies, exactly, it's very loud in here. The big one is that all the lows were boosted on the system, so a large amount of what you're getting with the volume back there was wavelengths that are about 2.5 to 3 feet long, and they get trapped in the corner specifically. So that's what creates such an oppressive element for it. But in regards to the other mics, like, I mean, for one, I'm being very loud right now myself, just to test the mics, but everything isn't, there's not too much you can do other than push the speakers up a little bit, right? Which, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you still, because you're gonna get the bounce back of the sound waves cascading this way, and they'll fill up the room down, but if you're getting a large amount of people, you know, that are getting hurt in the corners, then if you just incline it by 10 to 15 degrees, you know, it's just like you put a little tiny chalk in the front of it, exactly, facing it up, that will take care of some of the problem. It'll also catch some of the sound because of these banisters that you have up on top. It will actually help to ripple and diffuse the sound across the ceiling a little bit more, and that will help with some of your feedback. I mean, most people are, you know, I assume we got most people that are going to be reading or singing from this distance roundabouts, right?
Isaac.
I come a little closer. You come closer.
Yeah.
Well, Isaac, at the live guy right here.
Yeah. Do you want to get up here, Isaac?
Yeah, Isaac. Isaac, you go up.
Yeah. Because then I can get an ear over there myself.
I usually am very close to the microphone,
Okay.
you know, because my size is the right size kind of thing. So, yeah, this is how I speak into the microphone.
And how loud do you get?
Oh, I don't, yeah, I think the,
A
do
little
I,
bit louder than that because you are intentionally projecting to people.
Yeah. But this is a decent volume now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Again, the lows were cranked on.
This?
So that's facing very well.
yeah.
And the lows are the worst thing to actually crank for microphones specifically.
Hmm.
So it's already tapered back nice. The big one is that you should also have a little bit more definition on all your consonants now, which is nice because when the lows are boosted, when people are saying B's or D's, it creates a really long wavelength that actually overwhelms the vowel sounds and can make it hard to understand.
Okay.
When instead we get the higher pitches, which is what I pushed up a little tiny bit. Now the of it and the d
Okay.
come across a lot more clearly. So you're gonna, especially for the stream, it's gonna be much better going into the stream.
Okay.
That's why singers have to emphasize B's and D's and,
Exactly.
you know, T's,
Yeah.
just to get them out.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, it's much better than it was. All the lows were boosted about six decibels, which is a pretty significant amount, especially for microphones.
Yeah.
You almost never want to do that.
What you said about the bouncing thing, I can hear that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
it comes across on these. One of the big things is that when you push these microphones, right? Push them up a little bit more, you'll be able to hear it. Now there's more frequencies present before I cut some.
yeah.
Hear that ring? Mm-hmm. That ring can actually be alleviated a little tiny bit
Okay.
by pushing those speakers up. There was another pitch that was around what we call 400 hertz, which is much lower. That was more of a like ring that was in the speakers, but that's now gone entirely because that's luckily you got a system that has a.
What about Bob? Bob usually uses
Oh,
that.
but his voice is doing what I would be doing, so that's,
No, but that microphone you used to sing sometimes in that microphone,
yeah,
right?
that's good.
That's okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And usually our choir isn't singing straight into the microphone,
Yeah, they're singing out.
Yeah, that's why it's spread open a bit.
and still it's able to gather that voice.
A decent amount. I told them about two options because you do need to push the microphones in regards to their volume a little bit on the board to capture the voices. And once you start pushing it, like you just heard, you have that very high pitch frequency. Unfortunately, the parametric EQ, the little knobs that go up and down on it, they don't have a band that will specifically taper that off for us. So the two options that you have is there is a thing that goes like this. It's just like a little U-shaped thing that has rippled foam in it that will help to capture the sound waves and block off any bounce back sound. Because what's happening is that as the speakers are projecting, it's creating a feedback loop of sound between the microphones and the speakers, and that's what's getting that, right? When you put any kind of blockage here, then all of a sudden that helps to dissipate that sound wave. And think about it like literal ocean waves, right? And if you put a gigantic wall in the middle of the sea, all of a sudden those waves are going to, not intersect anymore. The other thing that you can do if you don't want something so gaudy is, and you see it with at concerts with drum sets, it's just plexiglass, a little bit of plexiglass here, and that can also create that dissipation, but then you have the see-through so that you can still see everybody up here.
But I like the suggestion that you said,
Just that little tilt.
tilt.
Yeah, and that's very easy to do. Yeah.
I think that would gives a lot of effect.
And it will help people in that for sure. Yeah.
Only now I'm realizing probably that,
What I've been saying.
yeah, that's too much on the people who are sitting at the back.
Yeah, I can show you what it was like right beforehand though, with the settings. If you want to go back there and check, this is what it was prior. I'll actually restore all the settings because I have it all memorized now. Alright. So before it was like this, right? Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hallelujah! And then we did a little bit of this. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Way better, right? Again, you can hear it. It's this low frequency here. That frequency that wavelength is about 2 feet long, as opposed to when you back it off, all of these ones are around 8 inches or less. So it's a lot easier on the ears, and it's not hitting people in the body as much. You know, the only stuff that you want people to feel in the body is bass guitars or the left hand on the piano, you know? So, then we bring that back up to give a little bit of body right there. And, yeah, so it's a lot more crisp this way. And the clarity, again, is going to be much better. And you can hear, too, what I'm saying about you know, if I take out this, it's very hard to hear any of the consonants, So it's going to be much more clear for everyone's ears at the speaking. Yeah, exactly. Yep. What's that?
You sell that baffle at the guitar shop?
I don't know if we have any in store, but we definitely have them online.
And where they attached to the post?
They attach to the mic stand itself.
How
Yeah.
long is it on?
It's only about like this big, you know.
It's still pretty good size.
Yep.
But it's light,
It's pretty lightweight. Yeah.
because that lost.
No. It's made for. I can I'll bring it up on my phone. I'll show you a picture of it.
That would point better for us than having another stamp with plastic on it, you know, with the vinyl.
Yeah. The plexi's heavy too. It's a lot to move around.
I would think you should take me out this front row,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
because we have a belt on it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
instead of jamming way up on the balcony or in this corner, we're gonna try to create custom funerals with a casket. And this won't chop too much. Because this is not the original entry into the church. Pews are.
So when Diane sings, does she also have a microphone? She doesn't. No? Yeah, she doesn't have a microphone. And she,
Yeah, it's, for those mics in particular, no. And especially for the live recordings, like.
Can you forward that to my phone? I'm not sure if you got my phone logged in there.
but I would
It's the
rather,
number that I just called, right? That you messaged me yesterday.
Yeah. I might have called for them.
But I'd
Although I
rather
texted
have
them.
something transparent rather than.
No, because the
Okay.
transparent is another whole setup, and it's heavy.
It's much larger, yeah. Actually, plexiglass is
It's
heavy.
that big
It's kind of-
It's
plexiglass
like a
sheet.
bulletproof kind of thing.
It's
Yeah,
like a bulletproof.
yeah.
No, no, you know.
That's why,
It's a little much.
No, but I'm thinking if it just comes
that's what it would go,
here.
this way, but it's not see-through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that
But
large.
most
You
people
know,
are above it anyway, or on the sides, you know.
it's something pretty small. And again, with this microphone setup, it doesn't need to be that, you know, it would just be about from here to here. That's it. You know, and you could even set this a little bit lower. It's not the biggest deal in the world.
And you could read.
Oh, of course. Sure.
You could just change it, press, yeah.
Oh, I see that you did.
It's- Yeah, having it's sound. If you don't have people that know it, it's tough, and it's so funny because I started going back to church 2.5 years ago, and just kind of fell into starting to do this because realizing, like I was talking to Ken, that's over at St. Philip's Catholic Church in Smithfield. And I was doing sound over there for them, doing the same thing, helping, you know, just dialing in the microphones, and then they actually had their school, the gymnasium sound system be about. But he was telling me a lot of the people that have been servicing churches for doing sound are all getting very old and they're all retiring. And I was just like, oh, well, I'm going to start letting people know that I can do this, because it's just nice to come into ask God. See, like, it is, you know, it feels nice to just be able to contribute as much as I can.
Is it
You know?
available? Because it's got.
No, what brought me back to Teresa, the big one,
Reflecting sound.
besides Jesus in the Bible, but I was asked to play the pipe organ
Oh, yeah, he
at a
said
friend's
that.
wedding for their, for like the whole, you know, ceremony. And I got in, I sat down to the church organ and was playing it. And it was like, you know, one of the full pipes. And I was like, I could do this for the rest of my life. Like I played in front of a lot of, I'm a musician, I played in front of a lot of people, and I was like, I would rather play in a good church building for 5 people for the rest of my life. Like this is way more fun.
It's 100%. I don't, unless somebody wants to try to construct something. Look at it.
You can construct, you know, it's not that hard to construct something like that. It's a little bit of it's a little bit of sound foam. You
I
know,
was thinking of clear, if you went with plexiglass room.
yeah, the only thing is that the reason why the big plexiglass is necessary is because plexiglass is still reflective.
Yeah.
That's why you at least need some of the foam with it, or you need to go big with it, like just larger,
Yeah.
you know, larger sizes.
Now we'll look at this and we'll talk about it.
Yep. Is your piano nice and tuned up?
For now, yes.
Yeah, nice. Good.
What's that?
Can you sing a praise song for us?
Does
I mean, I can make one up off the top of my head.
Very nice. I like the way you play.
I've been doing this since I was a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I started when I was 1.5.
Eric,
Yes.
there's the pair of mics there are turned all the way down.
Yep.
Which wasn't, as it wasn't.
Nope, it wasn't. No, I just brought them down.
Okay.
This is where they should sit anytime they're not being used, and then bring them up to just under 5. Yep, that's the place that I'm looking at.
So this
One
is
bit wide.
we want them in the line.
Yep.
Otherwise, if someone's not using it.
If someone's not using the pencils, always turn them on.
When I said about a store and everything,
Yep.
those,
If they,
these kind of setups.
they don't know if it's.
Yep.
Okay.
And you have to have a good ear.
Yep, you're welcome.
Mine used to be great.
Bob, if you don't feel yours is great, it's still mighty good. you're here. It's still like that. You wouldn't sing the way you sing.
Only no
Well, we had a choir director here for a short time that she signed with the Providence Singers. And she made this statement to me, "You have near perfect pitch." And I laughed. Either you have perfect pitch or you don't.
Perfect pitch isn't as perfect as people talk about.
No.
It's not, because like if like the piano is actually, because of Bach, the piano is out of tune forever, and equal tempo is out of tune forever. Because they wanted to be able to play in this note setup, which had been the standard for moving through organs. But before, like the organs that are from the 1300s, this note is not the same as this note. Well, on this piano it is. It's actually more like this note up here. And so a mathematician, Marin Mersenne, did a math experiment, like, imagine if you could just make it so they were all in tune. But what it did is it actually destroyed natural harmony. So we no longer, like when you listen to anything that's oral tradition music from different like native tribes, or any music that's standardized prior to modern notation, so like Gregorian chants, or Mongolian music, all that stuff is actually true perfect harmony, where when you're hitting a perfect fifth, it's truly a 2 out of 3 ratio. While when we hit a perfect fifth, it's like 1 out of 656 or something like that. It's amazing.
But only a musician can catch that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For the other normal, regular ear,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all we did.
Yeah, it's only for the real dorks.
And sometimes when you play in church, you have to forget that.
Oh,
Kind
absolutely.
of,
I mean, that's what I love. Something I was reading about this recently, but how people used to just sing together prior to like pop music and all that. And church is one of the few places where that still happens, where like it's not about having a great singing voice or anything like that. It's just about exalting, singing, and praising, right? Right, and it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's
That all
exactly.
came from folk songs,
Yeah.
the villages, their own traditions, and then it would move along and move along and move along.
You should see where my wife comes from. Huge churches, and all these people are a community, right? And most of the time they don't have electricity. But then somebody starts a song, and all the village sings together,
Beautiful.
and it's like
Right.
heaven is right here.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ask me if they're singing in pitch, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Near
when you
perfect.
listen to that song, it's like you're just transported
Yeah.
Well,
somewhere.
that's what the importance
Exactly.
is, just singing from here,
That's
Yeah.
right.
not from this.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but you should not be a perfectionist in church. Anywhere else, maybe in
Yeah.
this hell, but
Except-
not in church.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you want participation and you want people to come together and sing.
Oh,
You
exactly.
know, lift up praises to God, so.
Yeah. No, that's what matters. Yeah.
Thank you very
Of
much
course.
for,
Nice meeting you, Isaac. Yep. My pleasure.
yeah. Sometime probably we can have you do some musical.
I'll come make some music over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Catholic, but wherever people are praising Jesus, I'll show up. You know.
We didn't
That's
have a
what
hold
I'm
that against you, okay?
Yeah, good.
You
Yeah.
get called it.
No, I mean, it'll be funny. I'll go to mass on Sunday, and sometimes I'll come home, and in my building, there's a gospel church that rents out a space to do praise on Sundays, and I'll show up. Yeah, and I'll show up. And I'll be like, I'm like the only white boy in there. I'm like, this is so bad. You know, especially after like,
But the singing in the Catholic Church is just another thing.
yeah, it's very
Traditional.
It's very scientific. I mean, they help to develop all the all the modern notation and stuff. So it's cool. It's cool in that level from a very dorky perspective. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just man. One time I showed up there and it felt like I was in a. I showed up on a random Saturday. I was like, I'll just go to Pennsylvania. I felt like I was in a Hollywood horror movie. Truly, it was crazy. I walk in, and I'm walking in towards the front, so I'm like right near, in the main altar and everything, like over here. And, it's the archdiocese, so you fit 2,000 people in there. And half, 500 people on one side, all men, are all dressed in white robes, with the Jerusalem cross, red crosses, with all the other crosses on it, and the flags and swords. And on the left side, there's like 500 women all dressed in all black with black veils, all with the Jerusalem cross on. And they're all like, and there's like a whole orchestra there. And I'm like, what did I walk into? I thought I was just here to, I was just here to pray to Jesus real quick. I was like frightened at first. They was, no, come in. Because apparently, but it's like one of those traditions that goes back like 1,000 years or something. When they're it was I think the Knights Hospitalier or something like that. But it was intimidating. I mean, and I was like, no, I was dressed down too. I looked like I just came off a landscaping job or something. I'm like, oh, I
It's
know.
like the branch of the Crusaders.
Yeah, it was the ones. It was.
Hospitalities.
Yeah, it was the ones that would protect pilgrims when they would pilgrimage to the Holy Land.
This is probably after Philip decimated
Yes.
Crusaders.
Yep.
Do you remember some of those things? Mark?
Too old to forget it all.
Yeah. I only remember
But
it
it's
because
been
it's
long
fun
time.
nights. I'm still a little boy, so I just love nights and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, nights, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, armor is awesome. It was weird. I've never been in a room before, though, where there's 500 dudes with swords on them, though. It's like,
So the invitation is for you, come Sunday,
yeah.
and then
When do you do masses on Sunday?
10 o'clock,
10?
nice
Nice.
to event. So come and just get a much better, feel of what's going
The
on.
early side is the
I'm
most
so-
music.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Audio.
Yep, no, absolutely. I did
All
the
the
same thing
services
for
are
Zoom.
online too, if you wanted to see.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for a difference.
It's all on the web. Is it on the website?
Yeah, on the website it says, online, YouTube.
Okay, I'll check your stream for you for sure.
YouTube's got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
under the Greenville Baptist Church.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Y'all check that out. Yeah, I'll come.
I've noticed a little bit of a difference with this one,
With
with
the
this
pedals.
for the choir.
Yep.
A little bit.
Yep.
Now with the boost,
Yeah.
we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it gets a little distorted when it was being transmitted. That's one of the reasons why I went with the omnidirectional
No,
mic for
totally.
soloists,
Yeah,
because unidirectional, it was going
No,
across and it wasn't.
exactly. And again, with all
These are great for speaking, not as great for the, for singing.
No, exactly. And you should see a pretty big difference tomorrow for that because the low's not being boosted. A lot of when things get muddy, it's because there's too much low frequency present, and that's where all the frequencies stack on top of. So that's really a lot tomorrow. But maybe go come on tomorrow. I don't know.
First Sunday of Advent.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
thank you.
Yeah.
I was there.
Please, I'll
Now,
just-
I got 10 here, so
Yeah.
I can't,
There's a lot of
can't
people.
understand.
There's a lot of people that say they can do stuff. I'm a particular kind of dork.
You're the real deal.
Yeah, my brother's a math genius. My eldest, I have a very scholastic family. I play over 30 instruments. instruments. I'm classically trained. I'm trained in Carnatic, like Indian Carnatic music.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I love Carnatic music, man. I love Carnatic music. I can sit there for hours. I mean, I can sit there for hours and just listen to the drone. That's, my goodness. African rhythm theory. I'm a big dweeb. I taught myself physics just so I could like have more fun with sound waves. Like,
I'm on the tech side, but I'm with them.
yeah.
So, I think $100.
Yep.
So,
It's a console, but like that, anything, when I check the stream and everything too, there's no overcharge for that stuff.
so, cash,
Yeah.
cash.
It's a game. Well, no, Jesus, it's a game. But yeah.
Smaller team.
Yeah, but it makes it a lot easier to give the donation. I really did. That's one of my favorite reasons for wanting cash. Is literally just like every time I have cash in my pocket, I'm like, sweet. I don't need to go to the bank before church now.
In the Navy, I was a communication technician,
Yeah.
nothing to do with normal communication. We were monitoring Russian missiles.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
we were picking telemetry, so you're talking frequencies.
Oh yeah.
And here I am, headset,
Yup.
the equipment here, trying to pick up the telemetry signals.
It's.
And then they had me
Wild.
cross-training on picking
I
on,
can't believe that used to be done manually. It's wild.
we used to do the picking up different radar signals.
Yeah. Totally.
And they had to learn, it was part of the job, it was side learning stuff. And we got really close to a Russian ship, and they brought up all the fire control radar all at the same time. And somebody had tweaked the volume way up on the equipment. Now I'm partially
That
deaf,
sounds about right.
and I was able to get a disability.
Okay.
First they refused it, then they gave me a 10% disability. So now I'm putting hearing aids to the head.
Yeah.
Good set of hearing aids.
Yeah. I was just talking to a buddy that was in the Air Force, and he would need to be the one to check the ignitions for the jet engines.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's
Right.
like they check them forever to be able to get disabilities for it. Because they're just like, yeah, you stick your head in the engine while it's on.
With names like owl screech and hawk screech, and that's what they were.
Yeah. Wild, man. Wild.
They said, who's the idiot that's getting us this close?
Yeah. Thank you for your service, man.
Oh, thanks.
Jeepers.
It was fun.
I mean,
Playing with the Russians, it was fun.
yeah, luckily it didn't escalate, so it stayed in.
Right. And they really do have a Politburo person on every ship.
Surprise us.
Yeah, absolutely. I will.
They got, one guy did something wrong, and they took him and put his face
Oh.
into the bow of the
I'll
ship.
see you tomorrow.
Yes. And he stood right over him with a gun.
Jeepers.
And we just watched this ship, and this guy, bad boy caught him.
Yeah.
He's better than being shot and thrown over the side.